Hey folks, welcome back to She Says with Serena. I'm still your host, Serena. This week we're going to talk about some signs of mental health issues, and we're going to talk about what you should do if you see those signs in your friends, family members, or other loved ones. Now, I'm getting these signs right off Google, the same place that you can get them. You can read all about mental health disorders all over the internet. You can buy books about mental health disorders, although they are few and far between. So, what are the 6 signs of mental illness? Disrupted sleep. When we're not sleeping well, it's harder for us to have control over our emotions. Irritability or being more emotional than usual. Loss of joy. Change in appetite. Worsening physical symptoms. Low energy. So, if you don't know what these things mean, I'm not going to tell you every single thing. I encourage you to Google. What does it mean to have worsening physical symptoms? What are the physical symptoms that are associated with mental illness? Did you even know that there are physical symptoms associated with mental illness? Because I have to tell you, so many people don't realize that when we're depressed, we're in pain, physical pain. It hurts us to be depressed sometimes. Not always, but sometimes. What are some symptoms of a nervous breakdown? A lot of times we don't realize that our family, friends, or loved ones are mentally ill until they get to the point where they're really freaking losing it. They're really losing it. So, low self-esteem, fearfulness, irritability, worrying, feeling helpless, getting angry easily, withdrawing from friends and family, losing interest in your favorite activities. Okay, so different kinds of mental disorders come with different kind of symptoms. Like some people I have bipolar disorder, for example, and sometimes when you have bipolar disorder, you are more prone to lying, you are more prone to stealing, you are more prone to promiscuous behavior. Um, you are more prone to excessive irritability of being out of control and not being able to control your feelings. Sometimes this plays out in forms of abuse. So, when we recognize these signs in other people who we care about, what should we do? Well, if it's so severe and to the point where you think that that person is a harm to themselves or others, the very first thing you should do is call 911 and get some intervention, some real, true medical intervention, where the person can be placed on hold for 72 hours and they can be evaluated to see, if they truly are suicidal or if they truly are harm to the community. And if they are, then of course, then we're going to offer treatment, right? That's going to be our next step, is to get into talk therapy, to get into psychotherapy, and to, potentially get medicated. Medication is not the way for everybody to go, but it's the way that many of us need to go. Talk therapy isn't available to all of us, but to those that it is available to, we should be taking advantage of these things, these services. Okay, so when you approach somebody who has a mental health disorder, first I wouldn't suggest that you approach somebody that doesn't trust you. If they already don't trust you, I'm not going to respond well to somebody that I'm already questioning what your motives are with me. Okay, I'm pretty much going to tell you to kick rocks. So, how do we approach the subject with people we love? Well, um, I've tried interventions. Well, I've tried an intervention once in my life, and it didn't go over so hot. So I don't know that I'm a person who should be giving advice on this. I can tell you what I do, and it works. Sometimes it has worked, and clearly sometimes it doesn't work. And that is, I just tell the person flat out, you know, dude, I think you're manic. Dude, you're clearly freaking paranoid. You need some assistance there. What's going on with you? Recently, my best friend um, found herself in the midst of quite the episode, and once she got through it, and she came to my home for about a month, and she got here about 3 days before she left because the person who originally got here, I don't know who that was, but that wasn't her. Uh, I mean, she was alright, but she was a little different. Um, she just wasn't. She wasn't the person who I was used to, and we needed to figure that out a little bit. And so I did that by flat out saying, the things that you're saying, that's just not so. It's not the way it actually is. I did that by saying to her, there's clearly something going on with you. Let's see if we can't figure that out. And um, I'm not a psychiatrist and I'm not a trained professional. And my little bit of reading, I came up with something that is similar to her diagnosis, but a bit, definitely not as severe as the diagnosis that she received, which was paranoid schizophrenia, if I didn't already say that. So, I've heard it said that, it's not our place to tell other people that they have mental disorders. I disagree. When we ourselves are, afflicted with something, whether it be a mental disorder or a physical disability or whatever, who better to recognize the problem in somebody else than somebody who's coping with it and dealing with it themselves? If I see in you what I see in me, and I see it to the point of I'm concerned for your well-being, then out of my love for you, I'm going to say something. Now, I can tell you that if I've said something 5, 10, 15, 20 times over a period of, I don't know, 6 years, and you continuously choose not to respond, those are your choices, and I'm fine with that. And my choices for my own mental protection and my own mental health is to simply cut that cord and say goodbye for a while, because as you're doing whatever it is that you're doing while you're spiraling out of control, I'm not interested in being an active participant, nor am I interested in being a standby audience member. I'm not going to watch you crash and burn. If you want to do that on your own, you do that on your own. Once you're through it, if you need a hand up, I'll always be here, because that's what friends are for. I simply won't participate in your destruction. This has been another episode of She Says with Serena. You guys have a great few days, and I'll see you sometime this week. Peace out, folks.